Sorry, Jay.
That's cool. Yeah, I was just a waiter. And, it's funny because I was actually a wannabe country music singer. That's why I was waiting tables. I was like, had some opportunities in Nashville to do that. And I was writing songs, and that was kind of a part-time thing while I was pursuing that. Then I got into real estate, and, and I actually sucked at real estate in the first couple of years because I was still in my brain, I mean, I think y'all will get a kick out of this story, but like, I'll give you an example. I was trying to be a country music star. My buddy had a roommate that lived across town. I went over to, hang out with my buddy, and he said, "Oh, this is my new roommate." He didn't have a record deal. His name's Luke Bryan. He ended up making it. I ended up being,
Wow.
like, we're hanging out with his roommate. Hey, this kid just moved from Georgia. So, I mean, there was a lot of talented people, but so I had my focus on that for almost 8 years, and then got into real estate. And so I really was pretty bad at real estate my first couple of years. And then I met some people, and I needed to make money. So when somebody said this at the convention, you define yourself when you're at the bottom of the mountain, not at the top, because you really find out who you are. Like, when you gotta win, when you have no choice but to succeed, that's when you really define the quitters and the winners,
Wow.
So like, I look at everybody, I don't think anything me and Ashley did was anything miraculous, nor we were just very consistent, Randy, in building a real estate career and building EXP. One thing I can tell you, and I know I'm kind of just rattling here, I'm trying to even figure out what I'm going to tell you guys, but I was always in the trenches, Randy. I was a ground game real estate selling. I'll give you an example. I was the hamster wheel on steroids. My last year at Remax, I always wanted to brag about, first of all, how many houses I was selling without any support. Like, I didn't have buyer's agents. It was
That was your bragging rights.
That was my thing. I'm selling 80 houses a year. I don't have a buyer's agent. I'm a machine, right? So that was what I came out of at Remax. And when I saw EXP, I was like, okay, well, we went out, we met Glenn Sanford. I actually saw, and just so you guys know, my last year Remax, I did sell 81 houses. It was by myself with an admin. So I see EXP on a Zoom. I don't have time to, I was like busy. Like, you had to catch me. I was 15 minutes late for the Zoom, running around selling houses. And I get on the Zoom and I see EXP, and I'm like, holy crap, if that thing's real, this thing could be huge, because I'm the one doing all the dang work. Why shouldn't I own the brokerage? I'm the one selling all the houses. And so why did those guys get to sit over there in the press box while I strap on the helmet and go out and beat my brains out, but they get to reap all the benefits? And so I felt like it was an equalizer. I felt like it was like EXP was created for those hardworking agents that really put out the work. Now, the one thing that was critical, Randy, and I think this is very important for everybody on this call to hear. I personally, as tired as I was, because it's very exhausting selling, 60 to 80 houses a year by yourself. It's very tiring. My wife was like, I never see you. But the thing is I actually love real estate. I love it. I love the connection with people. I still, to this day, we have 2,200 agents at EXP. And when I am not doing development stuff, because I love developing real estate, I'm still going to listing appointments with my son and doing deals in Nashville and all this stuff. But the one thing I wanted to do, Randy, is I wanted to, when I joined EXP, I said, look, there's two things that are going to happen here. I'm going to come back to Nashville from San Diego. We're going to join this EXP that nobody had ever heard of. And then, and all my peers are going to say, well, Jay just quit selling real estate. All he does is recruit agents.
Wow.
And I said, well, that shit ain't going to happen. I said, they're not going to be able to run their mouth about me. So I said, okay, I told, one thing I think is important is you got to have conversations with your family about seasons of your life. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to go and just blow this thing out of the water and be non-existent for my family for a year and not tell them why you're doing it, right? Hey, kids, if I go out and blow it up for a year, you know, we're going to have a lot better life. You know, you got to have those kind of conversations. And Ashley and I did everything together. So we were very involved in building EXP together, but I was still selling houses. So I wanted to prove to all the haters that I could still produce and recruit. And
Right.
that was a real critical thing for me, Randy, because it was more about like, if I'm on the call with, let's just say everybody on here, you guys, some of y'all are selling a lot of houses. You're busy people. See, I wanted to be able to tell you, I didn't stop selling houses to build a brokerage. I kept selling. I sold 64 houses that first 12 months at EXP, along with building to 497 in our total revenue share group.
Wow.
And people were like, well, how the hell did you do that? And I actually had somebody bring this up, Randy, at the conference when Ashley and I were on a panel. Look, you cannot do that unless you're just reckless abandonment, hair on fire, fill every gap in your schedule. Like I'm not a good time blocker, Randy. I'm just a good, we don't talk about all these systems and blah, blah, blah. We just take action, and it gets messy. It gets messy. It's ugly sometimes. You're late for appointments, blah, blah, blah. I mean, but we were just like, we have to go get this done. So one thing I tell busy agents that you're running across town and you might be driving 45 minutes to show a house. Well, then you might have that might be at 9 a.m. in the morning. And then, you might have an hour or a 2-hour gap between your showings. Fill your gaps with meaningful $4 cups of coffee with other agents. And don't go pitch them EXP. Meet with them and ask them about them. Tell me about your business. What's going on, Dan? How many houses did you sell last year? Are you going to keep that level even though the market's moving around? And so, like I was always very intentional when I got up in the morning. And another thing, and I think it's a really good little tip. Randy, you tell me if I'm wrong on this, okay? But if I'm recruiting busy, productive agents, how often does their schedule change in a day? Every 5 minutes. So
100%.
You know what? This whole thing with I'm going to meet you next Tuesday for coffee never worked for me, because next Tuesday could be blow up city on their deals. Look, I schedule appointments on a daily basis because I can find a gap with the agents. Guys, if you would have tried to schedule me a week out when I'm selling 60 to 80 houses a year,
it's true.
So today is the day you schedule for the 15-minute coffee with an agent, because they don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you could grab somebody, it's, whatever time, I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but it's 11 in the morning. Right now is about the perfect time to schedule a 15-minute coffee with a peer.
That's
right now.
true.
Like trying to schedule it tomorrow at 11 is just, that's going to go to shit. And somebody's not going to be, they're going to have something come up. A deal's going to be blowing up, and then they can't get on, they can't meet you. And the other thing is, stop trying to get an hour of people's time. Too much. It's too big of an ask. This is how I would phrase it. When I would be driving down the road going to show houses, I'd call up somebody I did a deal with, and I'd say, hey, Bobby, how you doing, buddy? And I use a double dial, triple dial. I'll call them 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Pick up your damn phone.
We do that as well. It's proven. They pick up on the second or third time after they don't.
They do. And you go, hey, listen, man, I know you're super slam, bro. I see you on Facebook. That's one of my little lines. I see you on Facebook. You're crushing it. I see it. You look good. The family looks good. Listen, I've got a showings. I'm going to show 6 houses, and then I got a listing appointment at 1, but I'm going to be over in Brentwood and I'll be done with my listing appointment at 4. And dude, you know what? I just want to have coffee with you. Let's do a 15 to 20 minute bang it out coffee, and let's just talk face to face and strategize real estate together. Like, let's talk about this changing market. Let's get a 15-minute quick cup of coffee. It's on your side of town. I know you're busy. I'll meet you at the Panera Bread over there by Brentwood, and let's meet there at 4 o'clock. We'll be out of there at 4:30. Let's slam a cup of coffee together. And you know what? I would literally talk to him just like that. And that's how we built this business. Now, my wife, Ashley, who just so, by the way, is a way better recruiter than I am. I'm too crazy sometimes. Like some people just get like, they're like, this guy's got too much energy and can't handle him. So I don't even think I'm really that good of a recruiter. But, you know, Ashley does it completely different. She is more about that texting relationship.
Yeah.
Like she drips on people. She puts everybody, categorizes them in lists, Randy, and says, you know, looks at their, you know, when their daughter graduates, she's texting them, hey, she looked beautiful. Right. And she's really slowing down the. Yep. So, I mean, that's really what we did. I mean, I'm trying to get better at, you know, dripping people, but it's really been old school. Pick up the phone. Let's go grab coffee, get to know them. I don't go to I walk into meetings with nothing in my hands, by the way. I want nothing. I don't want laptops. I walk in like this. So they're totally you know, when you walk in with nothing, and I would carry a piece of paper, like a folded up, what do you call it? The little manila folders.
Yeah.
File folders, you know, so I can write and take notes and give them things if I decide to. But it's very just me. Let's go talk and have coffee. And that's how we built. And I think we've got 37 FLQA. We have right now active FLA. I want to say we're at 49.
That's awesome.
2,200 actives in 7 levels.
That's amazing, brother. And I was just going to ask that. So thanks for letting people know, because that is a big part of this, is understanding what your success was. I love your old school behavior. It's a lot of what I teach, and it's nice to hear a leader like yourself kind of support and echo that. You know, it's so interesting. A few years ago, maybe 3, we could say, hey, have you heard of EXP? That was an opening opportunity line, right? And then now if you do that, you're kind of shut off immediately. So we've got to get back to basics of really getting to know them and being humans, to be available to find out what's going on for them. And being unattached to it is the secret, right? If you could be unattached to it, and I say lead with that blind enthusiasm. It's okay to have enthusiasm. Just don't piss on their leg. Don't EXP on them.
Yeah, I like that.
And so I love what you said about filling your gap. So a lot of what I'm teaching in my coaching is to develop your list every day, right? We did an app that reminds you to make your list of 10 people that day you're going to contact, and it works perfect for your system that I have not done, which is carry that list with you. And it's just a real quick, hey man, do you have 10, 15, 20 minutes for coffee today? And if they don't, say, I'll get a hold of you in the next couple of days, and then go to the next one, and then fill the gaps in your schedule with that. That's brilliant. I love that. You know, Jay, so when you started this, you guys grew to, I think you said 457 agents in the first year. That's as fast as any organization that I've heard of, right? That is, you're up there.
I don't know, man. There's people doing it faster now, man.
Well, there's a lot that has been learned. There's a lot that we've paved. We've paved the highway for them. So they're running on a 5-lane highway now when we had a dirt road, right? 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, but I still think it's one of the fastest growing, at least in the top 10 of what I've heard. And, you know, so when you look back on that, how much time did you dedicate to your attraction in the beginning when you're running an organization with 80 deals a year by yourself?
I was literally just looking at gaps, man.
You were just filling in gaps and not time blocking necessarily.
I just had so much business going on, and I did not want to. I really just wanted to prove to myself, I mean, you know, that I could do both at a high level. So literally I would just wake up in the morning, I would look at what I had, and then I would get intentional about trying to have coffee with people. And that was, I swear, I know, I mean, I hope that can work for you guys, but it's really what I did, Randy. And the other thing is when I did present, I think this is critical to just, I'm all about presenting via Zoom. I do not like to present in person because it's not duplicatable. I love Gene Frederick's napkin presentation, and I've
Yeah.
done similar types of, drawing things out when people start asking me. But the problem is 9 out of 10 of those people, when you're sitting in front of them, going through whatever your little pitch is, they're saying, I don't have time for that.
Mhm.
And that means it's not duplicatable. And so if you give them any reason to say, I don't have time for that, it means that you might recruit them, but they're not going to duplicate. So you hear about all these people that have 110 personals, but don't have 2,200 people in their system. The reason is because I refuse to do anything that is not duplicatable for our 2,200 other people.
Amen. Amen. I love that. That's a great takeaway. And, I was with a network marketing company, Isogenics. I still have, I haven't enrolled anybody in 5 years, but that organization is still 30,000 people and growing. Right.
Wow.
So what they taught me in the very beginning though, Jay, is introduce, show them a video, hit play. That was the whole description. Introduce them to an opportunity, hit play, and then introduce to a 3-way call, Casey Council, right? That was the whole system. And we built a massive organization on that system because it's replicatable, duplicatable. And then they go, holy shit, I could do that. And the 3-way call, same thing. It's leveraging, because if I'm brilliant and that's awesome, but they're going to say, I can't be Jay, I can't be Randy.
Right.
But if you go, I don't know anything about this, I just hit play. And then if they have a question, you parlay it to a 3-way leader, that's duplicatable, right?
Randy, do you do or Dan or some of the other leaders within your group, are y'all doing weekly Zoom presentations where they're grouped like this with a bunch of people where you're presenting EXP?
I'm glad you're bringing that up. We did for years. We stopped about a year ago and we started getting back into the live presentation, especially during COVID. And now we're going back to it. We're back to an opportunity meeting. Obviously, Mike Sherrard and some of these people are crushing it doing that. And we're getting back to that. So the agents have a replicatable system that they can plug into every single week.
That's awesome.
Because sometimes you have that coffee and then what's the next step for them, right?
Yeah, I think that's critical. Now, one thing is we for our group, okay, I love the fact that I'm looking at all your faces. I'm looking at everybody, Heather, Haley, Ingrid, Alma, Harris, Bobby. Like, this is, to me, way different than showing them a YouTube video, okay? I do not really tell people, I try to get them on our Zooms because I want to use that time to connect. I'm connecting with y'all, okay? And so we have our Zoom set up for our group because I want to connect with the people. That's how I can give to, that's how I'm not running around doing 19 Zooms a day. Now, I love 3-way calls. I do 3-way calls every day. I'm not much into the one-on-one Zoom because I honestly feel like that is somewhat not as duplicatable. I'm into a group Zoom. This is what I like. 20, 30 people on a Zoom listening to one person and actually having conversation, hearing the story. So if you're doing the Zoom, Randy, and let's just say this was an opportunity Zoom. Randy, you're leading it. Okay. I start my Zoom off. I'm going to pretend like I'm Randy for just a second. Okay. Just going to pretend like I'm Randy.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the Zoom. We do this every week at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. We're going to talk about EXP. Oh my God, I see Dan Hillsman on here. Dan, well, how are you? How have you been, buddy?
Interaction.
Dan, what's up, man? How many, where are you, tell them about selling real estate. Like, I'm in it. Oh, okay. Alma, how are you doing? I love the little EXP sign behind you. Like, I'm into connection, man. I connect. And I'm talking to these people before I even do an EXP presentation. So I'm trying to create a relationship where and that's really been the secret to our growth. Our growth is not based on, it's based on a system of Zooms. Go out, build the relationship, have the coffee, love on them, invite with an intent. Let's say you guys were at EXPCon and you set in Mike Sherrard's YouTube class, right? You learned something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a value add right now that every single agent in your market would love to sit down and pick your brain about. So then you call up somebody you did a deal with and say, hey, listen, man, Michelle, hey, I love doing the deal with you last year, but listen, man, I just came back from this EXP con, and there's a guy there that when he puts up a YouTube video, he gets 20,000 views. And I was in this course with him. Let's me and you go grab 15-minute coffee at 4 o'clock today. I'll share with you some things that he's doing that you might be able to add to your business. So I always say, call with an add value. We don't call our past clients, me and my son, we don't call past clients and say, hey, we want to know if you know anybody buying or selling real estate. I've never done that in my career. I've never called with just, hey, help me. I'm always calling going, hey, Bob, it's Jay Nelson, man. I just want to check on the house, man. How's it holding up for you? Oh, it's good. Hey, listen, man, do y'all need any painters, drywall people? Is there anything you're in need of? What can I help you with? So I don't call people and ask them, what can you do for me? I'm calling, asking them, what can I do for them? And then the same thing goes for recruiting agents. Recruiting agents is no different than recruiting clients. It's, hey, what can we do for you? What do you need? Are you wanting to build a deck on the back of the house? Because when I sold it to you 2 years ago, you said you were going to build this massive deck. Did you build it? No. Hey, do you need me to help you find a good framer to come frame the deck? And then they're like, well, that was cool. Jay Nelson just called me to ask about, same thing with realtors. Hey, you did a great deal with me. What are you doing for marketing right now? Well, nothing, man. I took Zillow away because they were screwing me. All right, well, man, are you building a YouTube channel? No. Hey, meet me for coffee. Let's talk about it. I met a guy that gets 20,000 views per video in EXPCon. I'd love to share it with you. Cool. I'll meet you at Starbucks.
That's brilliant, brother. That's brilliant. This has been fire. This has been fire. I love your style. That little Southern twang is just, you got me like at hello as well. Somebody asked you, Heather said, sing us a song. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. You got any songs you want to sing real quick?
I'm not singing that song, guys.
Hey, you don't get anything you don't ask for, brother.
Curtis Johnson did that to me. Curtis Johnson did that to me. When I walked away from country music and stuff, I really walked away pretty hardcore. I was writing with some of the biggest writers, and I don't know, man, I can't halfway do anything. I had to cut it off. But every once in a while at our Christmas party, they'll force a guitar in my hand, and I'll show them what I used to do, but not today.
I love it. I love it. Well, honestly, I want to value your time. You really brought the fire. I have to acknowledge some of these nuggets today for you guys. Number one, EXP was an equalizer to the broker. That was a takeaway for me that I love. I've heard it, but it reminded me. Filling your gap in the day, rather than planning out a week or 2 weeks, just focus on the little gaps you have in your day, on the drive to a showing or during a home inspection, jump away for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, and make coffee on that day, which means you have to prep and have your list that we talk about, right? The app that we do has you prepping that. Call 2 to 3 times before you leave a voicemail. I do that all the time. And it's amazing how the odds go up of them answering the second or third time. And then I just go, hey, I'm sorry, I hung up accidentally the first time. I'm big thumbs. But anyway, nice to get you on the phone, right? And so I just apologize my way through it.
I like that. I like that little tip. That's a good one.
Yeah. I call 2-3 times because they get a little brash. You know what? You called me 3 times. I am so sorry, man. I got these big thumbs and I hit that stupid button, and I'm glad to have you though. So it just moved right through it. But critical for me, doing group presentations. We've been doing them in a presentation mode where you can't see everybody. I'm going to change that. I'm going to get all the people in there. I was in my drunk monkey was going, oh, I don't want Joe at Remax to see Cindy at Coldwell Banker, but actually there's value in that. So I love that reminder. And then connecting with the people during the thing. And then the last one that I thought was really, really valuable is the language between your customers and buyers. You've never said, come sell with me, come buy with me. You're just like, what can I do? Vendors, right? Real estate, what can I do for you? Do you need a VA? Do you need an assistant? Do you need a YouTube person? We just did this amazing new CRM leverage. We are leveraging Otter AI. Have you heard of it? Anything that values them.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden there's a reciprocity that comes from that. They're like, wait, what can I do for you? Right? So dude, I love that.
Hey, I appreciate y'all being here. I put in, love to connect with everybody on Facebook. Me and Ashley have a joint Facebook page,
Okay.
personal Facebook page. So it's actually us.
Jay Ashley.
Jashly Nelson. Send us a friend request. I love staying in touch and getting to know everybody at EXP. You know, if you need anything in Nashville, me and my son, we got it covered for you. But you know, I will tell you guys, look, EXP, the one thing and Randy, thanks for having me on it. Anytime you need anything, let me know, bud. And
likewise, man.
But just, you know, guys, the thing I love about this company is it's not perfect. And you know what? I never want it to be perfect. You know why? The day you say we're perfect is the day you're moving backwards. And I love our leadership. We have great people here, and we're always trying to make EXP better and better and better and better. And that's what I love about our company. So, but it's blessed our life, guys. I mean, when here we are in a, what if somebody hadn't, you know, I had somebody the other day say, well, I think it was at our panel. They said, Randy, they said, well, what, you know, you're calling, how do I call these producing agents and ask them to see EXP? What if the guy that showed us EXP, Randy, was a brand new agent? What if he didn't call me? He changed our life. You got to get out of your head that you're trying to recruit them. That's not what we're doing. You are trying to give them the greatest opportunity in real estate. It's a message. And so we got to get out of our head that we're just recruiting agents. You're not recruiting agents. You're offering them an opportunity to have a retirement, to get stock, to get things that their other company does. So we got to start telling ourselves we're doing them a favor instead of, oh my God, I hope they don't piss them off because I'm recruiting them.
I love that, man. I'm blessed that you're here. Thank you for giving.
Thanks, Randy.
And what can I do for you? I mean, anything we could do for you, brother?
You know what, man? I'll let you know, man. Maybe
Okay.
Have you on one of our calls, man.
Whatever I could do for you, it'd be my pleasure. And everybody on the call, I'm sure, feels the same way. So thank you for giving. Thank you for being on the call. And I really appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. Stay in touch on Facebook. Let us know what we can do to help.
All right, brother.
God bless y'all. Yeehaw from Nashville. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Thank you, brother. Take care. Appreciate it. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to stop the recording.